Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Saturday morning. I'm down here at Harbourside. I'm actually working today, so I'll be heading off to Mascot shortly, but I thought I'd take some time out to deliver a book summary. Let's just check out the view here. Another overcast day, but it looks like it'll blow off and clear up, and I guess it's a welcome relief given it's the weekend, and a lot of us look forward to the weekend to basically get the last remnants of summer before it all disappears and blends into autumn and winter. So today's book summary is entitled, let me just get it out, bear with me for a second, is entitled Mental Toughness. 10-minute Toughness by Jason Selk. So I'll just walk up here and we'll just do a bit of a walk and talk. So this book here is all about building the capabilities, and the author says that mental toughness is the ability to focus and execute solutions, especially in times of adversity. I guess we're all going to go through tough times in our lives and go through some significant challenges. But this book here is all about building up the capability and the capacity to be able to deal with tough times and tough things and come out the end smelling like a rose. So the author basically kicks off the book with a call to action and a key point, I guess, where he says that you need to be mentally tough and self-confident in order to achieve and succeed at anything. So it's not something which is you may need to be, or you may need to exhibit and experience. It's mandatory. If you're not mentally tough and if you're not self-confident, then you're not going to achieve very much, at least based on what we know today in terms of achievements. But I guess it's never changed. It's always been the same. So for those who are I guess weak and not self-confident, you're going to have lots of challenges ahead in your life, and unless you decide to change, and to change quite dramatically, then you're continually going to, I guess, suffer the consequences of your lack of action. So what else does the author tell us here? In order to be mentally tough and self-confident, one of the key elements here from what the author is telling us is we need a clear vision and a targeted effort where we continue to trust ourselves and ignore all of the distractions that tend to appear around us, and steer well clear of the negativities and the naysayers. So the first formal point to come out of this book is when the author says that it's important to build a powerful self-image of yourself and to improve your confidence. Given that he's kicked off and said that those two things are critical to one's success, it makes very much sense that he then tells us and reminds us over and over again that you need to build a powerful self-image of yourself in order to improve your self-confidence, but also to specifically remind yourself to be confident and competent so that you can continue along that path of growth and development. He also goes on to say, and this is a good point, this is a good point for each and every one of us to put things and help put things into perspective. He says that everyone views themselves in a certain way. And that is the sort of thing that makes us an individual. Everybody views themselves in a certain way. But the big question is, what is that certain way that you view yourself? Do you view yourself in a way that's going to empower you? Do you view yourself in a way that's going to help you? Does it serve you? Does it make you want to get up in the morning, want to try and do new things? Does it challenge you, or does it rob you of your power? And is it the kryptonite that ensures that you're captured and belittled? So, as the author says time and time again, every person has a way of looking at themselves, has a way of looking at others, and depending on that view that we have, that self-image that we have of ourselves and others, will influence the way we behave and the outcomes that we achieve. So it's also important, according to this author, to understand and appreciate that our self-image is a construct of our own mind. It's something that we may have inherited over time from our parents, our friends, our work peers. It's something that we could have artificially generated and constructed in our own mind, based on the way we think and based on feedback that others have given us or that we've orchestrated ourselves. But the important aspect, or the important point to try and work on, is where the author says that we need to act and think like the person you want to be. And the next point is a ripper, is a real powerful point. And this is the one that really sets this book apart. The author here reminds us, and there's no mincing of words, there's no confusion here. The author tells us that you will you simply, let me make this one here clear because I don't want to mess this one up. This is a key point, and I'll say it again and again. You can't underperform or outperform your self-image in the long run. So depending on how you see yourself, the image that you have of yourself, you've got to understand that image is going to define you in many ways. And if that image is a negative image or a disempowering image, then that's going to bring you to your knees. It's going to sap you of energy, it's going to sap you of action, and it's going to cause you significant grief. So you can't underperform or outperform your self-image in the long run, which means that there are cognitive dissonances. There's OCD that we all have. There's a struggle, there's a battle going on in everybody's head and everybody's heart. And that struggle will either work for you or work against you. is the key point. So let's just expand on this as best we can, because it is a deep and a powerful point. He says, or he alludes to our self-image being like a thermostat, and that thermostat will regulate our performance, the things we do, the level that we do it at, the frequency that we do it at, and that thermostat, that special thing, our self-image, will make sure that we don't over or underperform our self-image. So if you've got a low self-image of yourself and all of a sudden you're achieving some success, and we see this in sport all the time. You'll see it in tennis at the Australian Open. You'll have a player who's playing really, really well. They're two sets up on their opposition, and they've run away with the match, and all of a sudden they're tapping the ball on the ground, they're preparing to serve, and they start overthinking things, and they start saying to themselves, or their subconscious starts saying to themselves, that this image doesn't seem to be right. I can't be 2 sets up on the world number one or the top seed. And that's when their world starts dissolving. That's where they start choking, as they say in sport, because their OCD, their self-image, their thermostat starts to kick in, and it doesn't necessarily kick in consciously. It'll start kicking in subconsciously, where all of a sudden they won't get the ball toss correct. They'll miss certain returns, certain easy returns. And you say to yourself, geez, that was a regulation sort of return. How did they miss that? They'll start to double fault when they've never double faulted the whole match. So this is us. This is our thermostat kicking in to ensure that our reality matches our self-image. So this is a powerful lesson. This is a lesson that's worth contemplating and dwelling on, because it's the way we operate. We're all wired in a particular same way, and that self-image that we've got of ourselves, or that self-image that others have thrust upon us, because let's not forget, society will try and predict how you're going to turn out and what you're going to achieve in life. Society, in many ways, will influence a self-image. Self-image is influenced by culture, by country, by media, by parents, by siblings, by work peers, by heroes within a cultural context. So what we're saying here is that we need to be careful. We need to be authors and architects of a good self-image, an empowering self-image, because once we have a self-image, then that self-image is going to impact us over and over again. And that's why when we've got children in our care, grandchildren, we need to continually try and help them understand what their self-image is and try and lift that self-image, because it's a self-image that will be with them for a lifetime. So each and every one of us are worthy. Each and every one of us have a birthright to a great life, and hence an understanding of the importance of having an empowering and a positive and a beautiful self-image. So the second formal point to come from this author is where we need to set goals effectively by following your passion and aiming to be the person you want to be. A lot of people, a lot of children, I guess, get sucked into other people's dreams. And this is where parents are tremendously at fault. Because what they do is they force kids, they force their children down a particular path to live a life, to do a job, to be something that they're probably not designed to be, or they don't really fit in to that sort of job or that lifestyle or that cultural context. So that's why it's important to, I guess, be a partner in your children's growth and development, and not direct them, not be a director in their life, but be a partner to support them to follow their passions, you know, what they're really good at or what they really enjoy. So here is a point where we focus on and ask the question, you know, what do you really love doing? What do you love most in your life? And these are the sorts of questions that we should be asking the people around us, the people that we care for. You know, what do you love doing? And to encourage them to do more of it. Because it's the sort of thing that motivates people and fires and enlivens their soul and leads them to fulfillment. You're not going to be fulfilled, according to this author, by just doing things that other people want you to do. You're not going to be fulfilled by living somebody else's dream or achieving somebody else's goals. No, they've got to be your own goals, your own dreams. And if you're following money and social status, you're guaranteed to end up empty and unhappy. And that's the last thing we as parents, we as, I guess, elders within our families, our societies, our communities, our businesses want to see. You want to make sure that somebody is able to do something and commit to it 100%, but to also gain fulfillment and enjoyment from doing it. Because the time-tested wisdoms that we've picked up over our lives and over the years is that success is a result of gradual improvement, not just sudden motivation or sudden bursts or sudden impulses. No, bursts and impulses will get you a certain way in life, no doubt, but in the long term, they're not going to get you very far, and they're not going to help you achieve your dreams. Another key lesson that we've learnt in life is that we can do a lot of things, but we tend to overestimate what we can do in 1 year and completely underestimate what we can do in 10. But one thing for sure and for certain, we can do a lot of things, but we can't do them all at once. And this is where this book comes into it. Because we know that motivation, you know, if you rely on willpower, if you rely on some external motivator, motivation will come and go, it will fade, because the stimulus from motivation is variable and not reliable. Now, you can't have your parent by your side all the time to tell you to get up, go to work, have your greens, eat well, exercise, be courteous, be nice, find the right girl, get married. Now, you need to be able to do these on your own accord, as I said, without having somebody else or some other stimulus in your life continually trying to morph you and trying to change you. So the whole concept of can I constant and never-ending improvement needs to be your responsibility and your accountability. And as we said, we can't rely on motivation and impulse to keep us going. You need habits, you need regular routines that are yours, that you've signed up to, that you've committed to. You need to eat right, train every day, read right, have good routines, hang out with good people, people that are going to lift you, people that are going to enable you to leverage on their energies and you and them on your energies. But once again, you need to be self-dependent and a self-starter and not have to rely on other people. But I guess the important point from this book is that you will attract the things into your life that you reflect, just like a diamond. You're going to reflect the beauty around you. Make sure you're not reflecting the mugs around you or the negativity or the problem creators in our lives. So we need to develop good, consistent habits and do this over and over again, and to do it one step at a time, but a number of consistent steps, as opposed to inconsistent bursts and leaps of faith. So small, steady steps done regularly is the key point coming from this book. Anyway, it's starting to sprinkle. It's been a wet old week, it's been a wet old summer. So I'll head back to the train station, pop on the train and head to work on this wet old Sydney day. I thought it was going to clear up, but the rain's starting to come down now, so let me just start moving. Otherwise, I've got a 200 or 300 metre walk to the station and might get drenched if I'm not proactive in my activity. So take care, everybody. Have a happy Saturday. Have a great weekend. And I look forward to coming to you again from a different place with a different message of empowerment, because we've been on this journey for long enough now to realise that OPE, other people's experiences, are very important and useful at, I guess, teaching us life hacks that we can try and incorporate into our daily lives. And we need to do it on a daily basis. As the author says, not in fits and bursts, but consistently. Exercise right, eat right, read right, and hang out with the right people, so that we continue to make and leverage habits, routines that will benefit us and also benefit others. Because as we say time and time again, we're all role models in some way. We're either a role model or a warning. A role model of what to do, or a warning of what we shouldn't be doing. So I encourage each and every one of us to take the first path and to try and be a role model, to encourage and set the standard for others to try and follow. Because monkey see, monkey do. Our children, our grandchildren, our work peers are all looking for some positivity in their lives, and each and every one of us have the ability to try and be, I guess, an actor in that play. Take care, yasas, and have a great rest of the day. Happy Saturday to all my friends, and bye for now.